AJ! Hey Martin, good morning from India. Your sound is very low and music sound is louder. Thank you. Yes, I haven't had my headphones on. Thank you so much, pretty Dr. Pepper. Great. Perfect. How are you? I'm doing good after the power nap. Whoops. Sorry, Peanut. Hey, buddy. You love to sit here, right? Right where are you? The production seat. Sitting right behind me. How far have we? Peanut. Alright, he left me. We did the text field. We did. Look at that. I already thought about it. Time picker, minute, and second. If we do that, that's gonna be a different. And then type, back button, confirm message in case changes were made. Save button. I think we have this, right? If we run the fitness app, Daniel Crush, hey there from Bolivia, South Africa. No, South America. Why did I say Africa? I don't know. Hey, welcome to the stream and greetings from North America. Cyber, hey ho, what's up? Hey. And AJ thinks I'm very tired. You're not wrong. I was really exhausted, and the power nap really helped out there. So I knew I have to be somewhat energized for the stream, or have at least to recover a bit, to regain concentration, to be able to code, and that's what I have now. So let's see where we ended last time. Push-ups, and this should be a picker then. Let's save it. We have that, right? Oh yeah, right. We can swipe to delete, but when we tap on this, or we cannot swipe to edit, which we could do too. What does make sense? What would make sense? I think it makes sense to finish how to save the exercise correctly. And in terms of this one, the time, we might want to have the, let's see, where is it? The text field, the noise text field, to be capable of time instead of this one, based on its mode. So we could have two modes. Say, for example, enum mode, and then say case text, case time, and the default mode. So we're not breaking anything, right? Because we're creating an instance with that, and we are doing that at different places already, but we don't want to break that code where we do so. So we have a default that's text, and if we run that, this should still work for all the cases, although we changed the instance, like the init method. What's up, Martin in Thailand? Hey, what's up? How are you guys? Notification squad. At play, since you might be permanently moving to the US, no more Fritz Cola. That's true. But I pretty much got used to Dr. Pepper very quick, because barely someone knows that before Fritz Cola there was Dr. Pepper. For me, I got to know this drink through Steins Gate, my favorite anime series. And fun fact, Steins Gate Dr. Pepper cells. Once Steins Gate came out, who started drinking Dr. Pepper because of watching Steins Gate? Me. Just had a conversation and whatnot. I only drink Dr. Pepper. People. I'm a mad scientist. It's so cool. Alright. So I think there was some... So you can see already, they say DK Pepper, but they are obviously referencing Dr. Pepper. And I highly recommend this anime. It's really good. It's super deep. It's something, it's not like super superficial. How would you say that in English? Demanding? It's sophisticated. Yeah? There we go. Here, I saw these stats. Oh, it grew quite a lot. Steins Gate episode 24 airs at this point. Elpsychunger, that's the... So, pretty much... This is daily. But I wish they had like a yearly overview. Anyway, I digress. Hey Martin, Jake. Oh, Steins Gate, Rage Master. I see. I'm not the only one here knowing about this. Alright, so text field. We can let's see. Oh, by the way, for all the people interested on GitHub, I have my interview project open source and available. It's in Node.js, uploaded and how to use it here completely. In case you are interested how to create a super simple CRUD and job and email backend in Node.js Express. And how to build a small architecture around it. Obviously it's not 100% how I would go for or go about these things, because I was kind of in a tight time frame. So some things obviously are a little bit like rushed, but overall still somewhat structured. And it works. Back to the create. So if we have the mode here, this is the title label, right? Set up view. We want to assign the mode. So we have a private mode, type mode, and then we can say, and we know in setup view, setup text field, either we're going for setup name text field like this. Yeah, we should do it like that. Probably name text field, keyboard type, number pad. So if mode is equal to time, and you want number pad, let's see how this one looks like. Right. I have to do that at last. No. Thoughts on the coronavirus? Not really. It's something that I'm not reading up on. I am aware of it, but I'm not so deep into it. I mean, I hear how it's spreading and more incidents are happening in Italy or even in America here and there. Also about the beer, Corona beer. But I was always seeing these things as you should know about it a little bit so you're not unaware of things. So in case you see something suspicious, you can act accordingly, but I would not change my daily life or my routine and limit myself because of it. Else you can just stay home completely to circumvent anything from happening to you, because you could have also got run over by a car easily. I think the likeliness is even higher than getting infected by coronavirus since it's so new. Push-ups. Time. Let's see. Hey, look at this. It's still text because we didn't specify it here any different. Let's say time is mode. Time. Coronavirus changing their name to Chinese Ebola. I actually thought about it, and I think their hit right now in sales will recover pretty quick, and their popularity will rise above what they have seen in the last 2 years, because every marketing, even bad marketing, is still marketing. It always has proven itself to be in favor of the thing that was advertised. Always. So let's say pull-ups, and I'll go here, and we have a number pattern set, so we can type in numbers quite a lot. And then we can just decide whether we want to say 1, whether we want to have we have trailing for the time, right? One bug to be solved is copy and paste, because you can still copy and paste probably text. So only allowing numbers would be a solution here. Is anyone of you drinking Corona beer? It's supposed to be one of the most known beers in America. Or, yeah, I mean, I know Corona beer, but I didn't know it's that popular. Is anybody drinking beer even? Are we all drinking Dr. Pepper? So down here, let's say name text field, let's see. Do we have something like a restricted amount of characters allowed? All targets, new attribute. Time to do some push-ups. I like to do 3 reps by 30. I can do 50, but I start to shake. I like to do it slow because it's pointless if I shake. It's just a waste and I will get hurt. That's a lot, like 100 push-ups. It's good. That's really good. This is about the amount that I would do within my 20-minute workout routine. I never count the push-ups because Yes, these links. Oh, you need them, right? That's why you send them to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to workouts. When I do push-ups, that looks great. How I do push-ups is I always do push-ups until I can no more. And I'd rather do it this way, because if you count like 30 and you do it every day, you are not pushing your limits if you get used to or actually strong enough to do 30 very easily. And that's why I'd rather do like as much as I can, because it could be 31 today and 33 in a week and 37 in 2 weeks, just naturally, right? Always pushing my limit, always, like every day, no matter how many push-ups I do. And on the top of that, what I like to do is do push-ups until I can no more, the more normal ones, and then I go down on my knees and continue, because then obviously it's easier, but I rather continue until I then can no more, instead of making a pause and then getting back at the normal ones. Because what that does is, if I do the normal push-ups, let's say 30, I don't know how many it is, but until I can no more, let's say it's 30, then I go down on my knees and then I continue doing the push-ups. So I'm continuing exercising my muscles and pushing my limits. Now, the next day, I'm starting over with normal push-ups again, but now I can do 32 because I got stronger, and now my 32 is my next limit that I can no more. And so, yeah. Let's see, Jake, what if instead of a keyword you use a custom picker view with 2 components, one being for minutes and the other for seconds? Yeah, Jake, that was a thought as well. Input view, and then you have UI. Can you do a UI time picker? Because I would use date picker and restrict it to time, right? If you do it like this, let's try. What was that? Did you see that? Was it just me? No, there was something interesting. Save, go in here. Now we have this, right? Let's have a look at, just like Michaela was suggesting, where's the clock app? There's no? Interesting. The simulator does not have any clocks. How is it done here? Oh, it's done that way. So, but this is a different design. If you have a picker right away, so you pick it basically. I would rather have this one come up. So hours, minutes, seconds. So what we can do is we can say time picker, UI date picker, time picker, and then say cannot use so calendar. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, that was the way that I was trying to say. Sorry, I didn't specify. No worries. Absolutely no worries. Do we have some restrictions here? Range, maximum range. This just gives back a range, right? But this has still to be calendar. And we don't care actually about the calendar because we're not on dates at all. Countdown. The value displayed by the date picker when the mode property is set to show a countdown timer. Show countdown time. I want this. Countdown duration. Date picker mode. What is that? countdown timer, date and time. Oh, time only. Look at that. Oops, this one. What is this? That would be awesome. Let's do it like Stein's date, save, add. Okay, I see where this is going. Yes, it makes sense. Like, this is a time picker, but we want mode. What if it's countdown timer, date and time? What if it's that? Let's check it out together. And what I'd like to do is, at this point, I could have already Googled it right away, right? And easily found the answer, but I want to train still or maintain my ability to solve it myself by figuring out how the date picker UI, for example, works or what it offers. So I'm not that reliant on other people or resources. So let's go here and say, look at that, hours and minutes. So we can basically say 0 and 1 minute, but we also want seconds, right? So this goes into the right direction already. Mode that displays hour and minute values, for example, 1:53. The application must set a timer to fire at the proper interval and set the date picker as seconds tick down. The interval at which the date picker should display minutes. 60 seconds. Oh, that's so I can say, it should say like 5, 10, 15, 20 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To limit it even further. No, we don't want that. We want. Oh, and if anybody knows already, just shout out the solution. Else I'm gonna Google it soon. Let's just see whether we can find something here ourselves. We got something that we're just looking for something that sounds like what we're looking for. Editing interaction configuration. That's interesting. What the frick? My documents folder disappeared from Finder. What should I do? You mean like here? You just go to Go and you can go to back to documents. And once you are here, let's say you go on your name, your documents, you can just pull it in here. And option, most of the times, as you can see, exposes more features or hidden things, just in case somewhat happened there. Okay, so we have increase size index, input accessor review, the custom input accessor review to display when the receiver becomes the first responder, new input view controller even. Key commands. The key commands that triggers actions on this responder. Interesting. Alrighty. Hey!
What's up? Hey, Dutz.
What's up? I don't see anything that will... Have a slice if you want to.
Again?
Again.
Holy shit, guys.
Deja vu. State. What is that? Okay. Tag, target, text input mode. Text input mode. Probably something else. If that's not here, you know, sometimes if there is no property on the class itself, something else that still could be is not the property. but say the text, like the delegate, if I go here and see what it has, say text field, and then sometimes it has some configuration here too. But it doesn't seem like it. Okay, let's go to Google. You have to create a custom UIPicker view with two components that iterate through a list of integers that populate the components with the possible milliseconds values. Oh, really? So it's a UIPickerView instead of UIDatePicker. UIPicker? A view that uses a spinning wheel or a slot machine to show one or more sets of values. Huh. Alright, if I do that just like that, I wonder what it would display if anything. Time picker gets the number of components for the picker view, number of rows in component. Let's say that. Let's just try it out. Data source. It looks like it's similar to table view, so where you specify, I might do a subclass then. You may have to, it would be under the UIPickerView delegate, I think. Let's say field is the data source. What do we have? Number of components in PickerView. 2. Number of rows in component. 60. I can just not mention the return key, but I think we're still supporting iOS 12. I wonder what this one results in. I've never used UIPickerView, but it's super cool to know about it. Frank add crash. What's crashing? Similar to user requested new graphics, whatever. Index 60 beyond bound 0 to 0. Really? Oh. Number of rows in component. This one returns it. Component. Oh, PickerView. Ah, interesting. PickerView. So we have one component. Component 0, component 1. We should have one component. How would you define a time picker component? Real component, number of components. Is it then delegate? Extension, noise, text field, UIPickerView delegate, and component. Bit select row, title, whatnot. I don't think you have to do time picker number of rows in component after instantiating it. Okay. Number of components here, and then we specify number of, we return number of rows, but we never specified anywhere how many rows we have. Do we do that here? Do we say here, PickerView number of rows in component? Oh, what's that? Then I think you can return just 60. Number of components should be 2, right? because we want two components and we have rows. I assume a row is the thing we're scrolling, but where do we specify how many rows we have? Is it like rows here, or is it rows here, or is it time picker rows, number of rows and components, selected rows? Okay, I just dragged the full. Then I think you can return just the number of rows and component function source. So, oh yeah, so we could actually basically say if component equals 0, return 6. Say we want just to have 30 minutes for component 0, else return 60. Because then it's component 1. I'm just trying to figure things out, but thanks Jake for the conversation about it. It's super interesting. There we go, 0. But I think 1, 2, I don't know. This is super short. This is way longer. So we literally have two components, 30 and 60. But we can do both 60, just as you said, because we want 60 minutes and 60 seconds. Number of components 2, but we have to specify now how the rows look like. Why is my mouse disconnected again? Doesn't work. Then you would specify the title for row in component. Title for row and component. Which is just the row description. Like so. Right? Because we have 60 rows starting by 0. We could also do row plus 1. But this should essentially do what we want. Whoops. Add, and no. Oh, because we didn't specify the delegate yet. Time picker, delegate, self. Whoops. Watching you stream coding along. Perfect morning. It's so. Thank you so much. It's so good to hear. I enjoy it as well to like code along and talk to you guys. It's different. Also, I'm learning new things, right? Obviously, UIPickerView. It's great. There we go. 0 to 60, or 59 actually, which makes almost sense. We can do plus 1, so we start at 1, and you can. Oh no, for minutes you want to start as 0. For seconds you want to maybe say 0, 2. So then you want to have 61. Exactly. So you want to have 61 here, and you want to say, oh, we can. You want to have not title for row, but something like an annotation, right? Something like OBS is crashing. No, not mine, is it? You're not talking about mine OBS, are you? Oh, no, we want it for all of it. So maybe data source. What do we have here? RIP. Cyber! Can you be more specific? What do you mean? You know, I see my stream still going, so it's not my OBS, right? Is your OBS crashing? I don't want the stream to not be working for you guys. I'm live. It crashed for a second, then I refreshed and it was fine. The stream just turned off. Oh, okay. So you have to refresh. You might have to refresh. Let's see. Basically, pick a view with row to select view for row. Called by the picker view when it needs to view to use for a given row and a given component. Okay, let's see. Not title, but because we use title for row, right? Exactly. So something like hour, minutes, seconds. Yeah, because that looks like it was seconds. There we have. It's fine. Title for row. And this one says calculate time for picker. Not necessarily. Exactly, that's the thing. This got to be one of the most terrible way of doing things. Why would you want to pre-allocate all strings? It's interesting, it's funny. There we go. We have our label, add subview our label. Really? We add just a subview to it? Just like that? Oh, picker view. Let's see. Picker view for row. For component, we're using view. Column view. So we have a UI label, that's a column view of a certain width divided by 2 minus something, maybe I'm also already translating into my use case. And then we just say that. Okay, so maybe it's view for row. View for row. Can we connect back to my mouse, please? It's not, is it? It's not connecting. We're using view, UI view. That's why you want to reuse the view. Maybe. Okay, let's see. View, view as label. Why would it be this one? That's interesting. string format, whatever, row. Else we want to create a new view. Yeah, exactly, they're scrolling as well, that's what I thought too. The argument typically will be further from the values, but most users will like you not to set CSL. Most users will not to set is a terrible way to think about it, so it's not really anything you have in control. What is that? No. Why is this not a Swift file? So he's doing a picker cell. Okay, super old. UIPickerView example tutorial updated 2018. Nice. This is so that whatever. What is the result? Is it that one? I don't want this. Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with whatever we got here. I think it was here. Yeah. So we got it over here, down there. Very interesting. This is the same as here, that guy. So basically, but he also adds it as a subfield, right? Setup. View for row. What you could do is rather than having two components, you could have four, and the second and fourth ones could contain only the value that takes minutes and seconds. That way, since there is only one value, it won't scroll, I believe. I think you can, you can test it pretty easily if it will scroll or not, right? By setting this one to 1. Are you going to raid? Obviously. Oh, God damn it. I think it will still scroll, it will still bounce like this for hours. But you might be able to say UIPickerView title for row or component, whatever. PickerView. But then also it will be fairly distributed equally over the whole width. Say 25% for each view. I think the solution over here might be a better one. Let's see what we can do. So view for row, why is view this one? We're using view. That doesn't make sense to me. because we're using a LED. Yeah. Whoop whoop. So we have I wonder what this format means. We can look this up. I would like to know what it does. We obviously know what we're doing here, but enjoy the reading without me.
Thanks, Martin. You're there with the
Yes.
spirit. Dr. Pepper spirit.
Did you hear that? Dr. Pepper Spirit, exactly. So we are reusing the view, and if so, we are doing something with the row, and the row is the number. I don't know why. Column view. What if this one is actually, oh, one sec. What if this one is setting up, oh, one is using a date formatter and returning a date, get date. Are we using it somewhere? No. So it's used nowhere, but we have like minutes label and hours label. And what if this %02 LU is basically putting it and putting, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's see what this one results to. We have UI label, cell frame size. Wait, I don't know. That's old code. My mouse is not working. Is the battery out? Let's do this. Save. Tap in here. Add. Tap in here. It doesn't do. Just do nothing. Ah, 61. Okay, let's figure it out ourselves. What is this one used for? Let's read the documentation. Great! It doesn't describe anything. So let's say UI Picker documentation. I'd like to know what is capable of. Provide a data picker with displayed views for displaying your data and responding to user selections. Yes, exactly. Getting the dimensions of number of rows, row size, the size of a row for a component. Okay, reloading the view picker, reload all components. components, real components, selecting rows in the view picker, returning the view for a row, and component. View for row and I like this one. That's a different thing. Let's go into the delegate. What do we have? Row high, we don't need that. Width. The method in this group are marked optional. However, to use PickerView, you must include either title for row or the PickerView view for row method to provide the content of its view for row. What do we have here? Keep it up, man. Sending support from Honduras. Harold, thank you. AJ says as well, me and my group are today participating in college treasure hunt event. That sounds fun. That's a treasure hunt. What is this treasure hunt event about? Like, is it where you actually go out in the woods? I appreciate the support. An object representing the picker view requesting the data row, a zero index number identifying a row. Component rows are numbered top to bottom. Component a zero index, okay. A view object that was previously used for this row but is now hidden and cached by the picker view. A view object that to use as the content for row. The object can be any subclass of your iView, such as your label or whatever, or even a custom view. That's funny. Can be any subclass of your iView, or even a custom view. Because a custom view is as well a subclass, any subclass of your iView. But you define it yourself. If the previously used view, the view parameter is adequate, return that. If you return a different view, the previously used view is released. The picker view centers the return view in the rectangle for row. Let's try. Let's just experiment with it, right? Let's just say, okay, this is what it. If it's given, what if that is exactly how DQ reusable cell works? Like, if it's there, like if there is UI label, just use that. Right? Just say Zelda and return it, else compose a new one. Label, UI label, text, link, and then label text alignment left. Delete all of that. Return label. I wonder what this one does. We could actually change this one to just for debugging. Say workout, create workout VC. No text field, this one, mode, time. Just so we have the first create view that we are coming across already being this type that we need to look at and test. So this one says 0 to 60. Interesting. Number of rows. This is the same function, isn't it? And it says either that or the other, doesn't it? wrong or am I wrong? So it said in the documentation we have to implement either of that, which means I feel like if one of it is implemented, the other one will not be used or called. Nope, it's within the college campus. Wish me luck. I'm crossing my fingers for you. I bet it's gonna be fun anyway. There we go. We have link and link. Okay, it's left aligned. And we can scroll that, which we essentially don't want. For component view for row. So what we could do is when we say row like that, whoops, wrong spacing over there. Let's rerun. We're still at, but yeah, we can link it. We can link it. I mean, link is created all the time. So it's never ever reusing a view, because else I would say Zelda, which is interesting to me because I would have expected it to, once it's out of sight, but we don't want this one to be scrolled. This is centered by default. What if you are right in terms of, what if you are right, Jake, with components, you know? Say we do if component equals 1, do say I don't know, title or label. It's a label text. If component is 1, say label text is our, else if component is 3, label text is equal minute. If component is equals 1 or 3, do all of that, else one sec. We want to have trying to think. Just a little thing. Wouldn't you want the number of rows for the second components to be 60? You wouldn't want users to select 60 seconds rather than 1 minute. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Which means like this. Number of rows and component. rows, 1 row. Else. And here, if I think about it, if we are at the first component, we want to say hour, and the third is minute. No, it's second. What am I saying? Minute and second. And that's the labeling for 1 and 3. This could be for view for row or component. This could be the first component, which is index 0, which should basically be just a label. So we are doing that anyway. So let's see, if we have a reusable label, which didn't work out, but we have, I feel like we should do that still. If it's not nil and it's a UI label. Good morning, Martin. Michelle, how do I find my IP in React? Michelle, good morning. Hey, or good evening from here. Cyber, I don't know what you mean by it. I don't know how you find your IP in the front end of your project, or what you would use it for. Or do you mean in the back end, but then you don't use React, right? And if you do a request to the backend, then you know already the domain. So we have a label, and if it's text should be the row number, or if the component is 1 or 3, it should be saying minutes of text. So basically component equal 1 or component equal 3 should say label text, else should say row description, like this. Same applies to here. Oops, label text. Let's see. It's weird, we're still experimenting. But there we go, we have minutes, we have seconds, and it displays it correctly until 59, Jake, as he pointed out, starting from 0, and until 60 there. Only that this whole thing should be centered. Well, basically, or actually, based on this, which we could specify up here, let is label text is label text same is label text, then left, else center. Hey Martin, greetings from Australia. Hey Elysian, hey, greetings from Los Angeles. It's night already, but it's super warm. Else, what's the weather over there? Because I know that in Berlin right now, or at least in Germany, in some cities there's winter. It even snows and rains partly. So we do have minutes and seconds now. This one kind of scrolls, but I think it's fine, just as Jake pointed out. I wonder, because this is left aligned and this is centered, if we can say right aligned and south, and this one right aligned too. This is the closest as it gets, I think. That's so cool. How long are you in LA for? It's about 90 Celsius degrees here. Are you saying Fahrenheit or Celsius? Oh, you're saying C, Celsius. That's a very pleasant number of degrees. Right here it's about the same. Maybe today was quite humid, so you go out in the house was colder than outside. I'm just having a sweater and I have nothing underneath, and it works out today. Here, if I go outside, it's even sometimes too warm, just wearing the sweater with nothing underneath, so it's awesome. Now let's see. I don't like that the mouse is not working. Now we got this one, which, I mean, I don't know. It looks so. Okay, I mean, I think this is the cleanest as it can get for this function. Oh, you know what we could do? We can increase the size. No matter what label we are returning, let's specify a global label font size and say, I don't know, 24. And then here, label font city float, all right. And say label font size. 1 second, this reusable thing is not using the alignment either, which it should. It should basically do the exact same thing as this part. Style label. How would you? So we're basically reusing the same thing again. so we don't write our code twice. That's so much better. Great. How does it look like on iPhone 5 though? Smaller screen, less space. Is it more dense? Is it overlapping? Should we say adjust font size to fit width? Where are you? There we go. Hidden beneath, underneath, behind. Xcode. Running. Let's see. This is called anonymous function or closure. Oh, we can see the rows now. They were existent before too. It was just not as visible. That's so interesting. So it works out. It looks so clumsy, like so. Look at that. If we tap outside, we have to enable it so we can tap outside and then go to cancel save. This one, however, needs a little bit of spacing, as it seems. Create workout. Are we using, if we set it up, some spacing at all? Like bottom? No, we don't. Constant -15. Let's use a little bit of, because here we have natural safe area spacing, but I think this is better like this. Okay, we will take care of crash because I just quit it like this. I hope this was 11 and not 11 Pro. Yes, it is 11. You could add a toolbar to the top of the picker view that has a done button that will dismiss the picker view. Yeah, I have seen that solution too. Like, I have read about two solutions. Either you add a toolbar with a done button to end the editing, or you add a what is it? Tab recognizer or something? In general. Let's also work out, before we do that, with the done button, which might be more UX friendly, because you actually see something how you do dismiss that, right? You can say done, rather than have to like intuitively think, oh, I have to turn on to make it done, or where do I save it? I cannot even scroll this, right? So yeah, toolbar might be the better solution here. Let me get another Dr. Pepper and put the pizza in the microwave, because I feel like, although it's 1.5 hours already, we want to finish the toolbar thing and get the values out of the picker to store them in the database, so we can kind of close or finish what we started. I would rather have this finished than cutting the stream here, just because we have 1.5 hours already in, if you agree, right? Else we will just, I mean, it could be a good cliffhanger. Hey, stick around to see how we solve that. But I feel like shouldn't take all that long anymore. So let's go back to our Noi text field. And we want the UIPickerView delegate. do we have UIPickerView did select row. It's basically that, right? UIPickerView row selected row and component. Oh, we have to select. We have the row and we have the component. Which means we want, for example, say we want components. We want to get all of the values out of all of components. Because if we select something, if we select the minute, I also want the second still, the seconds. I mean, I can store globally something like private let minutes. This would be an int, and private let seconds. And then whenever it's picked, if component equals 0, then you have minutes equals row. If component, you could create a variable that represents the text from the different components and then use string interpolation to assign the text field text equal to the different values in one string. You could create variables that represent the text from the different components. So hours. About to do that with this one, if we say seconds row, and then you can say name text field text is equal to minutes seconds like so. Oh, essentially this would be having different default values, so it's even better. Say we say 1 minute, we say 1 minute, and am I saying point? I wonder if I want it that way. Two minutes, 0 seconds, 33 seconds. Is it any good this way? Am I overcomplicating things? What if you just say you have two fields and each of them represent a different, with two fields, one is minute, one is seconds. I think this would be more, you know what I mean? Instead of this one, let's do a design for it. do it. Oops. 165 minus 10, 160. 150, 185, 180. Even smaller. Really, is that 20? Interesting. What if we want to say this instead? 10 and 5. Let's just say 5. 175 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So reduce this one by 5 too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one as well. And then say here. We don't need that. It should be part of this one. What do we have? What if we have this one instead? I think this could be more intuitive. I think this would be better that way than this way. You know what I mean? So then you just says default value 0 and 0. You just tap in, you get one picker that says from 0 to 60. And we don't even need then the annotation here. I mean, it was a fun journey to figure out how to do that. We can still keep it, but we will have basically one view and the thing will be in the middle. One picker view for each field, and it will be pretty clear what this field is about. And it looks better too. That may also be better in terms of accessing the data as well. Yes, I agree. This one, that was my thinking as well with this one. I would have to kind of have an underlayer data representation of that display. This one would be easier to access the data without having necessarily a data representation underneath, but just grabbing it and casting it. So, okay. Then let's just say we are going to do that screen, and for that actually we're going to do that tomorrow then, because we are already past 1.5 hours, and this will take a little longer than just half an hour, which I think this would have taken to solve with the toolbar on top and whatnot. Like 20 more minutes to solve that and save the data. But yeah, let me just read out the last comment. Martin, what would you recommend to anyone who is approaching programming in 2020 to start with Swift? I personally know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but I would like to specialize on something specific. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is actually something specific already, which is front-end web development. I understand if you mean you want to be even more specific and dive into something, say become an expert in, for example, a framework like React.js, Vue.js, AngularJS, or something else. And switching to a different language like Swift would result in sort of the same, almost, that you will be good in Swift, which is just as specific as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, because Swift is for iOS, and those languages are for browsers, or even for iOS and Android if you use React Native. But approaching programming in 2020, what I would recommend is, I think it doesn't change. My recommendation doesn't change really all that much. If you want to specialize in one field, really do that. Just decide on one field and really try out for 3 months straight to stick to that field, to throughout the good and the bad. Especially the bad. It's important to go through the bad completely until it becomes good again, to get a feeling of the field that you're trying out, whether or not you like it. Because every field will have a bad period, and whenever you quit because it's getting bad, you will never get the feeling for the fields whether or not you prefer one bad or the other, because all fields will have bad periods. So approaching programming in 2020 is deciding where you want to try out to be an expert in. Try it out for like really 3 months at least, and do side projects in that field, and have fun doing that. Don't think about it in the way where I have to push out at least 5 projects and whatnot. Just commit to that field and try having fun learning, becoming an expert, because no matter what you learn in that field, it will help you getting better either in that field if you stick to it, or in any other field if you switch the field. It's not a wasted time if you learn. For example, for me, I yesterday spent a whole day to learn Node.js and Express and build a backend based on Node.js, and then submit it as an interview test with a backend job that is triggered every morning at 8 a.m. to send out an email that will include your top favorite subreddit upvotes. And there were a few challenges I've never done before, yet I was able to dive into that pretty quickly because of and I've never done that before, right? Because of my experience in all the other fields, so they came in handy, so it's not a wasted time. So I really recommend to enjoy the journey while you are committing yourself to a field, and just try it out. I mean, I have tried out React.js, Vue.js, I'm using Swift now, front-end, back-end. I tried out now, quote-unquote, I also tried out PHP and Scala with the Zen framework and Play framework, and these kind of things. And I really built things with that, and I have a feeling of what I like, or prefer, and what not. And it helps in general, and it's always fun because you should always build a side project, small one or bigger one, so you have something in the end, right? You're not only learning, but you can push it, you can use it, or you have it, and even if you switch, there is something that you can say, oh, there's a result out of your investment. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm talking so long. Thank you guys so much for swinging by and chatting and hanging out. I like our improvement of the UI based on our experience, what we went into once we coded the other UI, this one obviously. So we improved along the way, and I think it's a reasonable improvement. It's nothing where we can say, oh, we should stick to the MVP design and just code it through, because I think at this point this is really something that changes and improves not only the user experience but also how the app is coded underneath, and which we should just re-implement and refactor completely afterwards once we decide to change it, so we can just do it right away. I think that's fine. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope we will see us tomorrow as every evening at 7 p.m. PST. Have a look add Instagram whenever you want to have a countdown to get reminded for it, or you can hit the subscribe and notification button on YouTube, and I think you should get reminded for that as well, to just join whenever it starts. Since it's so short, 1.5 hours are going by so quick, coming late is never an issue, but in the end you will only have like a 30-minute session or 45 if there's only so much time left. All right, Cyber, Jake, everybody else, Mikel or Michelle, Elysian, AJ, have a good night or a good day, and thanks for swinging by. And let me also write that, and see you tomorrow.